Hello and welcome to the Professional Services Pathway. Your presenter for this session is Jill Carey and I'm Head of Sixth Form. The Professional Services Pathway includes 5 subjects. So that's accounting, business, criminology, economics and law. Accounting, business, economics and law are all subjects we've been teaching for a number of years. All of these are taught by experienced staff who are experts in their field. The new kid on the block this year is criminology, which is proving to be a very popular addition to our portfolio. All of the professional services subjects are popular with students. In fact, we have over 100 students who've chosen to study one or more of these subjects. We're very proud of the fact that students at SGS make exceptional progress. Our value added is in the top 5% of all schools and colleges in the country. Value added is a fair measure of the progress that students have made. It takes account of where each student started from and the progress they've made relative to other similar students. So what is it like to study subjects in the professional services pathway? The majority of A-level subjects in the professional services pathway are assessed traditionally. In other words, 100% of the assessment is carried out through examinations which take place at the end of the course. This means that throughout each course, students practice and hone their examination skills to ensure that they are well prepared for those assessments. The exception to this is our new Level 3 criminology qualification, which has been designed to provide exciting and interesting experiences that focus the learning through the application of that learning. Because of this, 50% of the final assessment takes the form of coursework, whilst the other 50% is in the form of an examination. Studying subjects within this pathway means that you have a wide range of options available to you once you've completed your studies. There are the obvious options such as accountancy, careers in the law and so on, but you should also consider alternative options to university, and indeed apprenticeships are a really good way into many areas in professional services. As an accountant, you may work, for example, in accountancy practices, and then you would work with lots of clients in a variety of industries, whereas working as an accountant for a single business allows you to specialise in a particular industry. Many university law courses allow you to combine law with business, management, finance, medical ethics, or even international human rights, and all of these help to widen the scope of the subject. It's often assumed that when it comes to economics, that maths is one of the most important subjects required for this, but that isn't always the case. There are economics degree courses which do not require maths, for example. University business courses can cover a variety of areas of business, including management, finance, marketing, human resources, hospitality, and so on. And again, this enables specialism in the area rather than achieving a general business degree. What enrichment opportunities are there within the professional services pathway? There is a wide variety of enrichment opportunities available to students in this pathway, and great importance is placed on bringing subjects to life for students. So, for example, in law, students are taken on visits to a range of real working courts at different levels, the Houses of Parliament, the Supreme Court, Magistrates' Court. We take them to Bristol Crown Court, where students can experience how it feels to be a witness, to be part of a jury, and they even get the opportunity to interview a practicing judge. So it's time to meet the team. Our experienced team of professional services lecturers has this year welcomed a new member, Janie Thompson, who has broadened the range of subjects by teaching our criminology qualification. Rory Adamson is a currently practicing accountant, and we have 2 law specialists in Romana Maric and Mark Anthony Jones. There are 2 business specialists, Steve Spokes and Di Kernock, and Di Kernock is in addition also our economics specialist. They will introduce themselves in more detail if you visit our subject presentations. We will now be available to take any questions you may have. Please be sure to watch our main presentation that gives you much more detail about the college, the sixth form, and what it's like to study at SGS. Subject-specific presentations can be found on our college website at www.sgscol.ac.uk. Thank you very much for listening to this presentation, and we'll now take questions and answers.
Hi Joe, we have a question that asks, would you recommend taking A-level maths if I could take A-level economics?
So what I would say about that is that if maths is one of your strong subjects, so if you get a good grade at GCSE, then yes, I would recommend it, but it isn't, as I've said, the be all and end all in the case of economics, because you can take a BSc in economics at university, which would include maths, but alternatively there are courses which would give you a BA, a Bachelor of Arts at the end, and those courses tend not to include maths. So it depends really on your personal strengths.
We also have another question that says, what can I do with accounting after?
So there are a variety of careers in accounting. The sort of top level of accountancy would require you to become a chartered accountant, which would require you to take additional professional qualifications, and then the sort of field is open to whatever you would choose to do. But there are many opportunities within accountancy, sort of at a lower level, if you like, than being a chartered accountant as such. But as I said in the presentation, you can be a chartered accountant within an accountancy practice. So you would tend then to have clients. The practice would have clients in a variety of areas. But if you worked within a specific firm, being an accountant within that particular organisation, then you would become a specialist in whatever that organisation is doing, whatever that business does. You can also set up as an accountant, sort of self-employed accountant, and in which case you may well produce accounts for small businesses and individuals and so on.
Thank you, Joe. There's also a question, if I take religious studies and law, thinking of becoming a human rights or immigration lawyer, what would you recommend the third course should be?
I would say for some, useful subjects might be, for example, things like politics or history. Those sort of things are quite useful, but there are very rarely specific subjects that are required for university courses. So it's really the key thing is to get good grades at A level, and then you can pretty much go on to most courses. there aren't many courses that require specific subjects, but you should check that, and the best place to check those things, I would recommend visiting the UCAS website, so UCAS, and UCAS is the organisation through which all university applications are made, and you can search and look for all courses, all degree courses and other courses that are run at all universities and higher education institutions in the UK, and they will specify what their entry requirements are. You can also go on to specific university websites and check out their courses and the content, and again that may well tell you what things are recommended. So it's always my advice is to kind of look at the step ahead and see where you're trying to aim at. I hope that's answered that question.
Thank you, Jill. We also have another question that asks how much writing/essays are involved in law?
It's a very heavily based essay-based subject, and one of the keys to law, and I'm sure you can find this information within the specialist presentation for law, is that it's really important to be able to learn about cases. Cases are a really key part of being able to provide the evidence to support what you're saying in a law essay. But yes, it is an essay-based subject.
Thank you very much, Jill. I'll shortly be posting the link to our final presentation, which is the Creative Communications Pathway presentation. I will leave this Q&A open should you have any further questions. Once again, I also will post the link to our website where you can find information on all of our A-level subjects. Within that, those particular sites, you can find the contact details for the teachers who teach those subjects. Please feel free to email them. If you would like to make a careers appointment, please email myself. I'll be posting my email address just in a second, so you can do that with me. That can be either in the form of like a Teams call, a phone call, or I could invite you in at some point, providing that our safety regulations obviously allow us to do so, given the current circumstances. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to pop them in the Q&A. If not, you can ask them in our following presentation, which is a creative communications presentation, and I will be posting the link to that in just a moment. Thank you. So as I say, the presentation will now be ending. However, the Q&A will still be open. Thank you very much for your time.